Good evening, everyone. I'm Supriya Bhualka, and I'm the founder of Coding and More. This month, we have our student showcase with Kyra D. She's
Hi.
joining us from Delhi. She's a grade 12 student in the middle of her board exams. She's an amazing student of ours because not only has she started her own business of organic skincare for teenagers, but because she loves technology so much, and she was learning AI with us for a little bit. She used her AI knowledge with her product, and I'm going to let Kyra explain to you how she combined her passion with technology. It's a prototype, but nevertheless, it's a start. Okay, so
Thank,
over to you, Kyra.
thank you. So, hi. I think the introductions have already been made. I'm Kyra. I'm 17 years old, and I started my own skincare business called Flow. And as you can see, I've like put a little snippet over here. It's the first AI skincare brand for teenagers in India. I'll before I get into the technicalities of how I built the recommender system, I'll talk about why I wanted to do it in the first place. So, I mean, you guys are still quite young, but as you get older, you'll see that you have so many problems with your skin, like acne and like pigmentation. You have these weird dark spots all over your face, which you really hate and want to get rid of. And I went and spent hours on the internet, but I couldn't find anything for my age. And I have these huge dark circles, which I absolutely hate. And during COVID, one day I'd gone into my mom's room and used the under eye cream, and like my skin was all red and blotchy because I'd used a product which wasn't for my own age group. So I saw this problem, and after doing lots of research, I keep trying and testing different products, but they wouldn't really work for me. And so I wanted to come up with a solution for that. So I decided to create this brand called Flow, which is for teenagers, actually for people from the ages from 10 to 19, because that's when certain skincare problems start. And fun fact, I mean, for Flow, like the W and E, like the E is silent, but that stands for AI ethics. Because besides loving AI in general, I'm a huge fan of AI ethics, and that's also because of you, Sophia. Like a huge reason why I got interested in that in the first place. Um, so AI ethics is basically about using non-discriminatory data. That's data that basically doesn't segregate or differentiate one group from another. So, what makes Flow so different from other skincare brands is that it has a recommendation system. I'll put it in the chat as well. My website, everyone can go ahead and check it out. Um, which this recommendation system, you basically answer a bunch of different questions about like how many hours you sleep every day, the kind like whether you sleep with makeup or not for the girls, or like what kind of eating habits you want. It recommends products on the basis of that. So here are two products over here, like one's a face wash and one's a toner and a mist. Okay, so I'll continue. I've just been talking about Flow the entire time so far. So when coming up with the recommendation system, I'd gone through making an Excel sheet with over 150 different inputs. Here are a few where there were different questions. Here, of course, I've like made different variables under which I've put different inputs to make it easier for me to code. So, of course, like ages, because everyone has different skin, and as you age, your skin is constantly evolving. And like when you guys become teenagers, that's especially the time where you're going to have the worst time with your skin. Because I'm on medication and I have huge acne breakouts still all the time. I'm using like 20 products a day when nothing seems to be working out for me. And of course, like different genders, then the different kind of skin types you guys have, then what is bothering you, because when you're a teenager, you're hitting puberty, you have different kinds of skin concerns. Then about a skincare routine, some people don't like to use a lot of products. then the way your skin looks, basically different factors like this. You guys can have a look at this. And has anyone checked out the website so far? I put it in the chat. Mm. Okay, so I'll go ahead and also screen share the website here. So you guys can have a look. I'm sure like I'm boring you a bit with the details. So I'll just show you what the recommendation system is all about. So this is my website for Flow. And to understand what kind of products that you need from my line, I've created a recommendation system. So there are a bunch of questions. Like, anyone want to help me fill this out? Just unmute yourselves and I'll just continue filling in whatever you guys tell me.
Adele, go for
Yes.
it.
Yeah, Adele, you can start. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Dal. How old are you?
Years old.
Sorry,
I'm 12.
12. Okay. And what bothers you most about your skin? I think it would be dryness at this age.
No, I think it's acne breakouts.
Really? At the age of 12? Okay.
Sometimes pimples, acne. Female.
Yeah, okay. And what kind of skin do you consider yourself to have?
Normal.
Normal. Okay. You're very lucky.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Um, Dull.
So, like, how many glass of water do you consume every day?
Glasses, but I have at least 1.5 liters to 2 liters of water a day. So let's say six
I
to
think,
7 glasses.
wouldn't that be more than 8? But okay, I might be wrong because I'm severely dehydrated, but I'll take your word for it.
7 hours.
7.
7.
And how stressed are you like lately?
Medium. Medium.
And what do you mostly eat?
I do have dairy, proteins, veggies, and fruits. So I kind of have but I take veggies and fruits.
Okay, that's me. And how often are you in front of a screen?
Quite some time, but let's say with classes and everything, 5 hours or 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours that way.
And okay, this is a bit of a work in progress at the moment. I unfortunately can't choose more than one, but what skincare product do you think you use like no matter what on a daily basis?
I guess cleanser.
And do you wear makeup?
No, I don't. False. I don't even wear
Sorry.
makeup, so I can put yes.
Yeah. And what kind of climate do you live in?
Polluted.
This takes a bit of a second to load. Okay, so the product that's been recommended to use the 5-minute spray, which is basically mostly to help you with your stress levels and especially cool you down during like the summers in a place like India.
It's
And
amazing.
And given her age group, right? So it's very age
yeah,
appropriate. So
it's age appropriate. Though I think that's actually very nice input that you've given me. I didn't expect 12-year-olds to have acne. I thought it normally started like the age of around 13, 14. So I'll definitely change that in the data inputs.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I think this has been a bit helpful for me as well. Just a second. Sorry, I'm like, okay, does anyone over here know what a recommendation system is? I've just been going on about it and I don't think I really explained it to anyone.
Anybody wants to try?
Yeah, there's no wrong answer.
Repeat your question. I didn't get it.
Do you know what a recommendation system is?
It's like a system in which it recommends you to do something or try something according to your answers, your queries, or your questions about yourself, or could also be problems you're facing.
Yeah, that's actually a very good answer. So, you must have watched a couple of shows on like Netflix or Prime Video or listen to music on Spotify. So, when you're like the next time you're scrolling through Netflix, don't you notice that there are certain things recommended for you? Like certain music based on your taste. Maybe you're listening to like the latest Taylor Swift song, and you get another song recommended to her from her different album or something along those lines. So that's what a recommendation system essentially does. It recommends general preferences to users based on like what you normally listen to or watch, or could be anything. In this case, I've recommended products based on your own skincare concerns. So it's quite flexible. So there are essentially three main different kinds of recommendation systems. So that is the popular recommendations, which is recommending things that are known to be popular, well rated. So, like for example, like Netflix has the top 10 rated in India. So you'll see like a lot of the time those shows or TV shows or movies will be recommended based on your own watch list or content based filtering, like a similar product that you've bought or looked at. Like even Amazon for that matter uses this. Like if you order a book, they'll be like customers who read this book also read, and then they'll give you a list. Or collaborative filtering, which is recommending things based on what similar people have bought or look like. Again, Amazon uses it, Spotify uses it, then even Netflix for that matter. Like it gives you a match, like a 97% match if you're scrolling through Netflix and like looking at something new. Okay, so I'll go back to how I created this for Flow. So like I mentioned, I'd put in about 150 inputs and you'd seen the questions that were given. The options, I basically filled in a bunch of random options. That's also half of these are surveyed from people using Google Forms based on their own skincare routines or environmental factors. And I just put them in an Excel sheet, just noting all of them in. I think this took me like a good 2 days to do. Yeah, and after that, I used AI Club. Wait, I had signed in on this. I think I've deleted the tab now. Yeah, okay, great. I have it. So I'd use the Pixida Navigator, which is from the AI Club website originally, and I trained this data set that I made on the Excel sheet. And I trained it and I kept tweaking it again and again because you want the accuracy to be there. So again, like talking about the fact that Flow has non-discriminatory data. So you have to keep training it so the accuracy keeps on increasing and tweaking it. So a few times like I made a few test runs and these are basically like 3 different times where I tested it out. I'll just try and open it to show you guys as well. Also, guys, if you have any questions in the middle, please feel free to reach out. Like, I'll stop the presentation in the middle, answer your questions, and move on forward because I'd rather you guys understand rather than me just going on explaining.
Kyra, I want to ask something really basic.
Yeah.
Do all of these like these answers come to you, or do you actually like can you see what they've answered? Is it stored somewhere?
As in, oh, you mean like when they go on the website?
Not really. Like when they answered, do you get the data which they've actually answered?
This is a good question. I actually have to put something in for this because at the moment I've only trained this data set with 150 inputs, and that way it's not growing. And that's the thing about creating recommendation systems. You should always program it in a way that it continues to work on the data that it already has. Because, like I said, I was under the impression that only 13 or 14-year-olds would get acne. But as I see now, that 12-year-olds also have this concern. So I do have to put it in. This is more like a model. Like I'm like after my board exams, I have a lot of free time on my hands. So I actually want to utilize that time to work on this. Like
Because
yeah,
you
go
can
ahead.
data in something, so you can keep on using similar data to see, yes, this person has faced this before, so this person must be facing something similar.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Right. And that's how you can also improve the recommendation system, right? Like if you do have a skincare concern, like you're 12 years old, again, I'm bringing the acne thing because I can't get over it. Um, again. Yeah, so like if there were like 20 different people who were in the age group of like, let's say 11 or 12-year-olds who had this concern. So instead of my recommendation system, which I trained it beforehand to only recommend like, let's say a toner, a mist, or like a body wash because of whatever other skincare concern, it won't be able to recommend like other products. Like I have acne patches, for example. So by constantly getting the data set trained again and again, um, you will be able to help other people also get more accurate recommendations, if that makes any sense. I hope you got that. I'm not sure. Yeah.
That was
Okay, so here you import your data set. This is how you actually start it. You import your data set and you choose the kind of data set that you have. Like in my case, it is in images. Like you can also train like an AI to recognize the difference between a cat and a dog. So you could use tons of images to get that because they're quite similar, right? They're both furry creatures. They have 4 legs. They're both domesticated. They both like treats. So I mean, you can use images as well, and then choose where the data is located. I think in my case, I chosen local. And you import the data set. I'd imported a spreadsheet because that's where I'd made it. Yeah, okay. And then you go on feature engineering after that. Basically, it's just a process, and then you train the data set, and then you see how accurate it is, and you can keep making tweaks. I remember during this time, I'd made like about I think I'd spent like about 2 weeks on this because there was some problem or the other again and again that kept on arising because I wouldn't be properly framing things on my Excel sheet. So you have to be very particular about being very specific. One thing I've realized about coding is like over the past, I don't know, I've been coding for about 6 years now, that you have to be very, very specific about every single thing. Like even take something, for example, such as like if you could compare this to coding baking a cake, like you have to mention every step you take towards the fridge to get the milk out and put it in. Like you miss one step and the whole thing goes awry. So that would be my word of advice. And then you would keep on retraining the model. I don't know why I'm having like some technical issues. I was testing this earlier, but if you guys have any other issues regarding how to navigate Pixida, like feel free to reach out. I'll probably figure this out after this. And basically that's how I did that. And then on my website to get this done, I'd used HTML and CSS to create buttons and Python as well to format it. I'd actually taken someone's help to properly format this because it was not very aesthetically pleasing, which is something that I wanted to do. Like even right now, it's a work in progress. Like what my final goal with getting the recommendation system to be looking like is to eliminate the what kind of climate do you live in and just get the 5 minutes play to display on the screen once you're done with the recommendation system. So I guess you learn as you go. Yeah, and I think that's about it regarding how exactly I built it. I mean, it was a long process, but it was quite fun and we got there. So, any
Good.
questions?
Kids, did you all notice one thing that, Kyra actually saw a problem, which children her age face? She decided to solve a real life problem. Okay. And that was building a brand of skincare products. Two, because she liked technology and was learning about AI, she decided to implement the AI in the business, right? Because different people have different requirements. So the idea is that as children, if you observe that there's a problem in your community or something that you yourself face, how will you solve for it? And then can you use your AI to make it better? That's the takeaway that you should really be taking from Kyra. And what she's built today, of course, her website is not where she wants it to be, but she's also a child, right? She's just a couple of years older than you, and she did it 2 years ago, Kyra. How old were you
Yeah,
when you
2 years
did
ago.
AI? So you're 15 years old,
Yeah, I
3
said.
years older than Adele. So that's very courageous, right? Anybody has any questions for her? No one?
Sorry.
I also want to try the AI club. Do you have to pay anything to do it?
Like what I trained the AI on the Pixida.
Uh,
Now we
no,
can.
do you have to pay to make an account or anything like that?
No, it's completely free.
Okay.
Yeah. Like while I wanted to start Flow, like originally I hadn't even thought of like making this data set on my own. I was so hesitant myself. So I went on the net and kept scrolling and I didn't see that there were any data sets for this. Because like when it comes to a data set, you have to be really, really specific. Like even if you take like your phone, for example, Face ID, this is all like how it detects your face and how you unlock the phone. It's all based on the data set. Like there was an MIT study also like a few years ago regarding how Face ID detects people who have fairer skin faster than those of other skin tones and men especially. And that's where like the discrimination comes in. So I don't know. I just find the whole thing very fascinating. And actually, so Priya had helped me and she's like, why don't you create one of your own? And that's how I'd taken the initiative to do it. So I'd say that never say never. And like once you actually get into it, you realize how easy it is. From the outside, sometimes things seem a little daunting. And then when you get into it, you're like, oh, this is kind of simple. And like you can do it. And you take it one step at a time and take it as it goes. And I didn't even know that this was something I wanted to do. Like I've applied for college now, of course, because I'm gonna be starting in September. And this is actually something that I want to do after college. Like I want to take this forward with Flow and maybe actually start a company which creates data sets for whatever different companies want to do with it, like to help them out and just, I don't know, start something of my own related to this industry. So and that I only got to know that like last year, and I've been coding for 6 years. So every year I'd been doing something different. Like 1 year I'd spent just on robotics, 1 year I'd spent doing Python, 1 year I'd made my own blog, 1 year I'd made my own app. So I'd say don't be afraid to try something. Just go for it. You never know what comes out of it. So that's the key takeaway for me, at least throughout this journey.
That's very inspirational. And don't try to get everything right. See, the
Yeah.
important thing is to start and then keep building on it and
Ma'am,
give up
Something.
on it.
Yeah, that's something even I still struggle with today. Like, I'm a huge perfectionist. I want everything right. Like, even with the flow recommender system, I keep thinking, I'm going to do it, but I don't have the time right now. So next 6 months, like after my boards, I'm like free for 6 months. This is what I want to do. So, I mean, just learn how to tone that down a bit because you guys are still learning. That's something even I need to still learn. But don't be afraid to do something just because you know that you won't get it right. I think it's just a part of the process.
Thank you so much. Kids, you all have any last questions for Kyra? I hope she's inspired you to think, observe your environment, and see what you can build. Okay? And as I said in the beginning of the call, that as this year we want to showcase children's projects. If any of you are inspired by Kyra today, please reach out to your teacher and tell us what you'll be showcasing for us. Is that okay?
And please reach out to me if you have any questions. I mean, I don't think any of you guys are on Instagram. Otherwise, I would have asked you to go there because I post a lot of things related to this. But I can put my email down below. I'm sure you guys have been using you guys have email IDs because you have to sign up for a lot of AI related things when you want to code. So I'll just put my email down below. Feel free to reach out, and I'd be happy to help you with anything you might need help with.
Thank you so much, Kyra. Thank you so much, children, for joining us during your playtime. And all the best, Kyra. I hope
Thank
after the
you.
boards you are going to spruce up flow.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'll be reaching out to you again and bothering you regarding that.
and I have to share something. I tried Kyra's products. They are actually awesome with or without the AI. So
Thank
congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. See you.
Kyra.